I should be
Okay.
live. I'm going to hop over and share it to the group also.
Awesome.
Let's see. Video. Yeah, we're live. Okay, let's see if I can share it.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Maybe afterwards. I don't know.
No. Yeah, maybe after. A little bit challenged sometimes with technology. All
Same. I think
right.
we all are.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get started. Hello, thank you all for being here. My name is Sarah. I'm the creator of Stand for Mom, an online community for work-at-home moms. Every Tuesday morning, we meet right here on the Facebook page for a live 10-minute workshop. Today, I am really excited to have Jena Holliday with us. She is an incredible person. She is the creator of the Mother Creative Tribe and also a series that she calls 100 Days of Motherhoods of. Did I get that right?
Yeah, SOF. Yeah, Spoonful of Faith is what it
SOS.
stands for.
That makes sense. Sorry.
That's okay.
But it's a really incredible series. Jena is an artist, and she's created these incredible portraits of moms. So if you go to her Instagram account, which is Spoonful of Faith, you can click on her hashtag and find just these beautiful images, and I love them, and I want her
Oh,
to share
thank
more about them
you.
today. But yeah, Jena has a website. She has a shop where she does custom work or where she creates products. Her work, like I said, is gorgeous. I'm just in love with Jena. I'm so glad she's here. I'm excited to get to pick her brain. So welcome, Jena.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
No, we're really excited to have you. So tell me a little bit. We have a 10-minute window, so because none of us as work-at-home moms have a whole lot of time, so we'll keep it
Right.
brief. But I want to kind of first, real quick, get the highlights from you. Tell us about how many kids you have and how do you introduce yourself as a mom? When somebody asks, "Oh, what do you do?" What do you say?
Oh, okay. So I have two kids. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, Layla and AJ. And when people ask me what do I do, it's a conversation because I'm an illustrator and a designer, but I also do my background or my professional background before I went off and to do illustration full time was in marketing and social media. So I have a lot of experience within both of those realms. And so I help people. I still kind of help coach people with blogging and marketing and on social media. But then majority of my work comes from illustration and design. And so I kind of do a little bit of everything. And I think a lot of times people see me like, oh, you're at home or you're a stay at home mom. And I'm like, I am a work from home mom. It's like letting them know I have my kids as well as work and to provide, income for our family. So that's kind of what I say, I guess.
Yeah, it never fits into like a little nutshell, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's awesome. Have you felt like you've been creative for most of your life, or has this kind of come about as you're an adult?
Definitely felt like I've been creative most of my life. I'm the middle child out of 7 kids, and yeah, really huge family, and like pretty much everyone in my family or my siblings are like super creative. Like my sister is a pastry chef. My brother is a musician and he runs like a production studio. I have another sister who sews. So we've all kind of like growing up in this huge family. We all kind of would lean on each other's talents and things that each other could do. Um, to kind of just create our own little, world of things, I guess. And when I got to a certain age, I want to say I was like in middle school. One of my teachers, like my art teacher actually was just like, you probably won't like, what do you want to do as a living? Like, you're not going to be able to be an artist for as a living because they don't make money. I remember that like totally throwing me and being like, I don't know what I should do. I guess I have to go to school for business. So I completely changed what I was like into. And I was like, well, marketing's the most like fun side of business. So I'm going to go and do that. So I went to school. I got a bachelor's in marketing is because it was the more creative side. But I always had a love for art and illustration. I was always doodling on things. I would tell people, I can, create this for you. But most of my time was spent in marketing. So it wasn't until I had kids, actually, that when I had my daughter, I decided that I was going to um, start doing illustration work. And so I started drawing little kids and stuff because she kind of inspired that. And I shared them online, and people were going crazy, like, "Oh my gosh, do you sell these?" Like, everybody wanted one. It was just like insane. And so at that time, I was working full time and then coming home and then doing illustration work and then long nights and a young baby early morning. So it was just like a crazy season. And then in the past year, a year ago, I felt like it was time to kind of go off on my own. And so that's where I'm at today. So yeah, it's kind of always been in me, I guess you would say. So
I love that. I love how, it's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking like, oh, once I have kids or if I have more kids are going to keep me back. But I love, we have so many moms in the community who have stories like you where it was kids that kind of inspired them
yes.
to go to the next level. I just love that about your story. That's
Thank
amazing.
you. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
What what's been the biggest hurdle for you as you've kind of moved from that, working full-time world? Because you kind of, it sounded like transitioned in a lot of ways all at once. Not only did you go from like, working full-time to like work at home mom, but you also transitioned from different kinds of careers and different.
Yeah.
What's kind of been the biggest hurdle for you in all of that transition?
Um, I would say like going off on your own, the for me, the biggest hurdle is like the uncertainty, like trusting that everything will still work out. And I think like your drive helps that. Like when like the success stories of others where they're saying like, they didn't give up. Like they kept going despite obstacles or hurdles. And even in some of those ventures that they went off into, they might not have worked, but they didn't give up the fact that they still wanted to pursue, that creativity. So I think that was like a huge step for me of like, I had this secure like job, a really good job at a really great company, and leaving that for something that I felt like was a dream as well as like what was inside of me and what I felt like I needed to do at that time was really tough. Like it was tough on our family. It was tough on my marriage. And I just had to make sure that I had the support around everyone else and that I believed enough in myself to keep going for it. And so there was a season where it was really hard. And now we've come out of that season and there's ebbs and flows when you work for yourself. Like you start to understand how things work. And we're just in a better place emotionally and then financially. And so I think that was probably the toughest part of that. But then on the flip side, another tough part was like becoming a work at home mom, like taking care of my kids and trying to balance working as well. And so that was really hard at first because my son, who is 1.5 now, or almost 1.5, at that time I had just left my job. I went on maternity leave and then I didn't go back. So I was now a mother of two. I had no clue what I'm like. I had no clue how much it would change, from one to two kids. And then as well, throwing in trying to work as well. That was just hard figuring out that balance, what worked for our family. But it's like now we're kind of in that swing and we got our I guess way of doing things. And so those were probably the toughest things to get through. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What's your number one piece of advice for mom's balancing? Like, what's a mom hack that you've just loved that's helped you with that work at home mom thing?
Yeah. Um, so for me, one thing that I always do, and that I think I've heard other people do this too, is whenever like an idea comes in my head or something, I put the notes in my phone. Anytime like I have any free time, like sometimes like I'm not nursing my son anymore, but when I used to like be nursing, it's like you can't get up, like but you sleep and you have stuff that you want to do. Like I would take out my phone and like if I like I blog as well. So if you write or blog, that's like perfect because you can just write in your phone while you're like unable to move because your kids are laying on you. Another I'm trying to think of like what other hacks I have. I know that's like my big one is to like always constantly being able to just check into your phone and write notes there because like my notepad is just filled with ideas and thoughts and little blurbs and maybe I should talk about this. So that's probably my number one hack. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. You know what though too? I love your you have this week your thankful challenge going on. I want you to talk about
Yeah.
that because that really caught my eye. Honestly, that's kind of like thankfulness is kind of a hack for me. Just to
Yeah.
Matthew's point, I mean, working at home can be so isolating and can feel really discouraging really fast. And
Hmm.
I love that you're making a point of being intentional about being thankful because I feel like, well, I'll let you talk more about it. But it's made a difference for me. And so I'm excited to
Yes.
join in with you for this week. So
Yeah.
tell us about your thankful challenge. How can we get
Yeah,
involved?
so totally get involved. If you follow me on Instagram, my name is A Spoonful of Faith there. But what I'm doing for the next 7 days is just challenging myself as well as others to write a short list each day of the things that we're thankful for. So, like what I do, I actually have a gratitude journal that I write in constantly. And so, like a year ago, and this is like a super good hack if you want to always stay positive and in the right spirits. And when I left my job and I started on illustration full time, like I felt like God just told me to write everything I was thankful for every day. And so, like, it really helped because it was a really, really tough season. And so, being able to kind of go back and just dwell on those things that, like, we overlook each day, it really transformed my heart and my mind as well as my attitude. And last year, we had like kind of like a scary incident. My son was in the hospital for a while. His blood levels are really low. He was like 4 months, and they were saying that they wanted him to have a blood transfusion. We were praying. There was just a lot going on. He ended up not needing the transfusion. Were able to leave. Like it was like a total miracle experience. But during that time, I wrote in my thankful journal that like when we were in the hospital, and now when I look back at like what I was writing and stuff, it's like it brings me to tears because it's just crazy that in those hard, tough moments there was still so much to be thankful for. And then I see like and we were still brought out of that really hard and tough experience. So I swear by these. Like I tell everybody, like you need a gratitude journal. Like last year, all of my family and friends got gratitude journals from me because I'm like, if you can just take the time to write it. It doesn't even have to be every day. It could be every week. It could be a couple times a month. But just take the time to count the ways and the things that you're thankful for. You will see a total transformation in your life. And so I'm challenging people for the next week to do this. And I'm just going to be posting in social media every day about what I'm thankful for. I have prompts each day if you can't think of things, but you probably will be able to. But if you can't, it's just kind of a prompt to help you come up with some ideas. And then I just want everyone to kind of look back on the week and say, like, how much more did you notice? How did it change your life? How did it change your attitude? So if you're interested, follow me on Instagram at A Spoonful of Faith, or you can go to spoonfuloffaith.com and sign up for my newsletter. And all the information I will send out to you so you can get involved. But all you have to do online, well, I forgot, I have a hashtag too. So if you go on Instagram and look at Stay Thankful Challenge, you'll see all the posts that have been posted by myself as well as others that are getting involved. So I really hope that you join in, because it's such it's an eye-opening experience. It's something so small to us, we think. But if you just take the moment, it could be 2 or 3 minutes to just write down. It could be, I'm thankful that I was able to drink my coffee today in peace, without the kids jumping on my back. And so small things like that, they add up to the fullness of our life. And I just think that we have to stay awake to them. We have to stay just looking at those things so that we can really appreciate the lives that we live. So, yeah.
That's so good, Jena. I love that. I am super excited for this week. I feel like that.
Yeah, me too.
Timing is great for me personally, and I think a lot of other women are going to be really excited about it. So,
yeah,
thanks for doing that for us. Our 10 minutes are up, so
yes.
I feel like I could sit and just listen to you for forever. So we definitely are going to need to have you on again at some point in the future. But thank you so much for taking the time with us. I know how valuable it is, and so I'm just really grateful that you were here today.
You're so welcome. I'm so happy that you guys had me on, and I would love to be back. So just let me know when, I guess.
All right. Well, thank you to all of you who joined in with us. Make sure if you have any questions for Jena or anything, throw them in the comments and we'll try to get them to her. But make sure that you follow along with her at A Spoonful of Faith on Instagram to join in on the challenge. And that's all for this week. We will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.